They label them, oh, these people are crazy, these people are mad, not knowing that they're not crazy. It's a chemical imbalance in the brain. If you have a group of friends and they don't motivate you, then those are not your friends. Those are not a good group of friends.
In this country, there's so much stress. How best people can handle the stress, not to go crossover to the other side, becoming mentally ill, how best to handle the stress?
That's a good question. So, like you said, in this country, there's a lot of things that can just trigger you.
Are you a business owner, an entrepreneur, an entertainer, or a professional that have a story to tell, or a product or service that you want to put out there for the world to see? Let's set up an exclusive interview between you and I. All I want you to do is to shoot me an email on info@OAKannex.com. Let's project your brand, and you'll be glad you did. Thank you. Welcome to OAKannex Hangout. On today's episode, I have the pleasure of hosting an amazing woman, a wife, a mother, in the person of Dr. Tina Okezie. Welcome to OAKannex Hangout.
Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure. I've
Good.
watched most of your videos and I couldn't wait to join in. So today I have the pleasure of joining you.
Okay, Dr. Tina, please can you introduce yourself to our audience? For me, I know you, but for our audience, can you introduce yourself to them?
Hi everyone. My name is Dr. Tina Okezie. A little background about myself. I came to the United States in the early 90s. Came to join my parents. And when I came, I completed my secondary schooling in Nigeria. And when I came here, I furthered my education. I did my BSN, masters and all that. And I'm married to an amazing man. Most of you know him as Charger, but his name is Francis Okezie. And I have a most compassionate, amazing son, Jordan. And that's my background story.
Okay, good. Going by your resume, you are a doctor. Can you take us through that journey? How it all started? What led you into that specialty?
So, believe it or not, that wasn't my initial, that wasn't my first choice. So when I came to this country, I came as a teenager. You know how we want to rebel against our parents. My parents were already here. They wanted, just like any other African parents, they wanted us, everybody to go into the medical field, either nursing or doctor or whatever, something in the science field anyway. But I was a little, I wasn't having it. I was like, no, nobody can tell me what to do. So I went to do my own thing. Went to school, majored in biology, graduated with a BSN in biology, and started working. My siblings, the two younger ones, I would say they knew what they were going to do right from the get start.
Okay.
My immediate younger sister, she knew she was going to be a doctor, and she didn't even look any other way. So she focused on that and went to school. Actually, she went to high school, yeah. After high school, graduated, went to college, went to medical school, and graduated as a MD. So right now she's practicing, and my other younger sister did the same thing. She has a DMP in psych. But me, what led to my journey? So yeah, I did biology. I was working, graduated, got a good job, very comfortable in what I was doing. But as time goes on, I was getting bored. It became monotonous. I started doing the same thing over and over, even though, the money was good, it was sustainable. I got promotion and all that, but at some point, I realized that that's not what I really wanted. One day I went to work and I just sat down. I had a discussion with my husband. I was like, because now it's, every time when I go to work, I'm like complaining. I'm like, oh God, I don't like this anymore. It's so boring. And then I looked back. I was like, then I started, and I have a lot of friends. I won't say it was my friends that influenced me. No, my parents. I actually wanted to do that, but because at that time I wasn't listening to what my mom was saying. So I was like, no, I'm gonna go do my own thing. That's why sometimes you need to do your own thing and get it out of the system. So when you're ready, you know you're ready. So when I was ready, went back to school and
What is it about your profession that you love most?
oh my God. For me now, ask my husband. It's like when I go to work, I don't even complain. I love going to work. I work in the psych unit. I
Okay.
like talking to people. I like seeing the thing I like about it the most. Initially, like when I was growing up, especially as an African,
Okay.
when you grow up in Nigeria, you see a lot of people on the streets. I mean, they label them, oh, these people are crazy. These people are mad, not knowing that they're not crazy. It's a chemical imbalance in the brain. So when I saw that, I became so interested and saying, and I saw the changes, like with these people, when you manage them with medication and therapy, you see the difference. It's amazing. Like, I think that's one of the things that as African, we need to educate people, especially people back home, educate them that when you see people like that, they're not crazy. Maybe something happened. It could be sometimes, it could be maybe if you're going through a loss of someone close to you. You could lose your husband or your wife or your parents. That could trigger something in your brain. You don't know. It makes people go into depression, and people will start saying, oh, please, these people, they don't know what they're doing. They're crazy. No, they're not crazy. It's a chemical imbalance in the brain, and there are medications and therapy that could actually help revive those symptoms back. So, and that was the real reason that made me went into.
So reviving them to go back to full normalcy, or at times it will now creep up again.
I mean, you can go back to full normalcy if it's not that bad. Like if you continue on your medication and if you continue therapy is very helpful also. If you don't lapse on those two things, I'm sure you could live a normal lifestyle.
Can you take us through the mental health, issues, how people, can balance it? Because, in this country, there's so much stress. How best people can handle the stress, not to go crossover to the other side, becoming mentally ill, you know, how best to handle the stress.
That's a good question. So, like you said, in this country, there's a lot of things that can just trigger you. We have our bills, we have our family to take care of, we have the societal stigma, we have a lot of things. For you, I'm speaking in regards to the community that I'm from, like the African community
Yeah.
mostly.
Okay.
Sometimes a lot of us, we shoulder too much, and a lot of Africans don't believe in therapy. Therapy is really, really good. Sometimes when you shoulder a lot, it's good for you to talk to someone so you can lessen some of those burdens that you're having. I have a family member that, is going through that right now, but because of the stigma, oh, I'm in the hospital of mental health, it doesn't look good, and they're refusing to take medication, they're refusing to go seek therapy. And that's really, really bad. We see this person like deteriorating like really quickly. So my thing is, if you have the burden, if you're overburdened with maybe your work, household, family back home, that's another one too. They can either call you for a lot of things and maybe you don't even have the resources to do that. But
Okay.
still you're shouldering that, and just, speak to someone, a professional. If you don't want to talk to someone that is close to you, you can talk to a
Okay.
professional. They can advise you on things. Sometimes when you talk, it lifts up that burdens from you. So that's the number one thing. Therapy. Seek therapy first, and if you know you can, it doesn't help, then you can go the other route, which is medication.
Okay, good. So you talked about your navigation. You've be able to move from different positionings. Like you started from biology and you were able to make the transition. So how was the transitioning? And for people that want to go into your field, because some of them, when they get to a certain point, they are confused. But for you to be able to start from one point and navigate into other areas that are still lucrative in the nursing or medical world. So for people that want to transition into your field,
Okay,
can you guide them?
for me, I would say that I was, only because I was so done with what I was doing. I
Yeah.
wanted something new, something fresh. And I've had passion for that from the beginning. And I have family members that are all doing that. And I have help. My mom is a nurse. I mean, she came to this country after having every single one of us in Nigeria, came and still able to go to school and became a nurse. And like I said, most of my family members, my uncles, they're pharmacists and doctors and all
Okay.
that. So I had the environment, I had the support, saw it. It's not something I just jumped into. I have people around me that are already doing it.
Okay. That made
So
the transition easier for you.
it made the transition very easy for me. But
Okay.
for those that don't have the support, that don't have the background, that don't
Okay.
have anybody at all, I would advise just make sure that's what you wanted to do, because sometimes people just go into this thing because they heard that, oh, there's money in it, make sure that's what you want to do. Because if that's not what you want to do, that means you, after graduating and all that, then you'll be doing something that you don't like, and by the time you realize it, maybe it's too late. Just make sure it's something that you really really want to do, and it's something you're passionate about. It don't just go because of the money.
I'm asking for the people that, they've made up their mind that is what they want to do. How can they navigate?
Okay. I know for me at that time, it was easier. But now, at that time, I know like when you already have a BS, a biology, I mean, not a biology, bachelor's degree, there's an accelerated program that you can do for 1 year. So a lot of people were doing that with their biology. They just accept all your credit and you just go. And that accelerated program is very, very difficult, because it's like you have to stop everything you're doing. It's like 5 days a week, constant. I mean, think about something that took some people 4 years. You're doing it in just 1 year. So it's very, very strenuous, and that's why I say make sure that's what you want to do. I mean, you're not going to go in that field taking loans or paying all that tuition, and you're not ready for that. So that's when the sacrifice comes in. Like, it's a lot of sacrifices, your family, and make sure you have an understand. Discuss it with your spouse first of all.
Okay.
So they'll give you that support, because you will really, really need that support. That's for someone that already has a bachelor's that wants to do the accelerated program.
Okay.
Then we have someone that doesn't have the bachelor's degree.
Okay.
So, I mean, for you not to acquire a lot of loans, or not to pay a lot of tuition, you can. That's what I did. You can start in the community college, go there for 2 years and get your RON degree. While working as an RON, you can then apply for your BSN. Who knows, your job might decide to pay for your BSN program, which is good.
So coming back to the mental therapy that you talked about, because I believe that information is really, really missing. And how costly is it? Because most times they say it's costly because of the cost. The people wouldn't want to, ask for the necessary help. Can you touch on that?
Because mental health is a really big thing in America now, most insurance covers that. Most insurance covers therapy. People just don't know that. Not just medical. I mean, mental health is the same thing as medical. Okay, say you're sick right now. You go to the hospital to check your blood pressure, you're diabetic. I mean, why not check your mind also? Mental health is the same thing. You have to check your mind to make sure you're right. So most insurances, they cover that. I mean, to the best of my knowledge, I know insurances for depression and anxiety and all that, it covers that. And even though if they don't, they have like the government programs that you can go through and get helps. And I will advise people to start looking at that, into that.
For people that might need assistance or more or help in that direction, maybe that have opportunity to get through this podcast, can they reach out to you?
I would say there are resources though. They can go on the internet, but yeah, of course, yeah, they can reach out, and then I can help with other resources also. And also I have friends, like most of my friends now, that's what they do. So, and some of them have their own
Practice.
practice. And so yeah, they can help also with that.
Good. So I want to take you back because you know what this platform stands for. Resilience story, success and strength. You've talked about your profession, how you were able to juggle it together. So we want to extract those moments that were very, very tough, because the tough decisions that you made and the sacrifices. Can you touch on that to encourage other people? Because you just said generally it's not easy
No,
talking
it's
to your
not easy.
spouse, but you or your, the moments that you wanted to quit
Oh
and,
my God. The
decided to
moments that
continue.
I wanted to, oh, it's really, really tough. It's hard. I mean, like I said, if this is what you want, there might be some times that you might even fail, but don't give up. Don't give up because it's hard. Like I remember one incident. I was in school, and that's very, very personal, but something happened,
Okay.
and it was really, really, it was tough. It was really, really tough. I had to take a break for like a semester or two or so because something really, really happened, and it was really, really tough for us at that time.
Okay.
Then after I got myself back together, I was like, you know what, this is what I've always wanted. Let me just continue. And I did. And that's one part of it. Another part of it, if you're married, most men, not most men, some men, make sure your partner is in this with you. You guys are on the same page. Some people, they don't, I won't say their partner won't be, their partner is not supportive, but some women, I know some people that they didn't even discuss it with their husband. So why you didn't discuss this with your husband, yet you want to go out there and be out there all day? The man is not going to understand, because when you're in nursing school, you have to study. There's no juggling around it. You have to study. You have to attend clinicals. You have to do other things. I remember at one point, I will go to school. From school, I'll go to the library, Rutgers University Library. Sometimes I'm there until 9 at night. And thank God for a very understanding husband. I'll call him. I'm like, please, I have my study group. I can't just leave. Can you please help me? If it's dinner for Jordan, just help me do something. And yeah, he was very understanding about that. And one thing I would say, throughout my journey, my husband did not like stress me at all. He gave me 100% support. That I would say. So that made the journey easy for me.
Round up for your husband. Quite an understanding man.
Yeah.
Okay. Back to the perception that I've talked about becoming like African women generally, not specific for Nigerians, but once they get their RN or BSN, the next thing you hear is divorce. They start having issues with their marriages and all that. Can you talk about that?
First of all, I'm going to say, don't let whatever you're making, let me just say money get to your head. I would say, I'm just trying to use the right words for this because I don't want people to come for me.
Yeah, I've had it a lot. Even among our, they keep saying that. Now, I needed someone in the profession that,
Okay,
can be able
so
to throw more
first of
light.
all, societal stigma as a role, you are being the man,
Okay.
in the African community, you're supposed to be the head of the household. You're supposed to bring more of the money. You're supposed societal stigma, in short. Now the roles are reversed. Sometimes the woman is making more money. The woman is going to work. The woman is able to afford anything that she wants, and I mean, help out with the family. Some men, they are insecure. Some men are very insecure. I'm going to touch on the other part
Okay,
too.
is that right? Yeah.
So with this insecurity, it comes trouble. It comes nagging. It comes like sometimes I have a friend, like when she's going to work, like the man will be, why are you going to work all looking like this? She's like, I'm going to work now. That insecurity kicks in because now the roles are reversed. Like
Okay.
she's making more money. She's paying more bills. So I
Okay.
just want to advise our African men. Yeah, this is a different society. We're no longer in Nigeria. And the social media and also the men are the ones that are into social media, looking at what's going on in other people's home. No, you don't use other people's yardstick to
Measure your own.
measure your own. Just look at your wife. If you can help, if you can encourage her, if you can support her, I'm sure if she wants to even fight for divorce, she'll think twice, That's one aspect. Then another part is some women, although it gets into their head, like, oh, now I'm making the money, I'm the boss, and I can do or say whatever I want to say. No, it's not like that. I'm talking from where we're coming from, African
Community.
community.
Okay.
No, just because you're making the money and the roles are reversed, that doesn't mean you should disrespect your husband. Respect him.
Thank you. Another part is, like I said earlier on, how you juggle it. You're a wife. You go out, you still come home, run the home, and you've been in marriage for
Long time.
exactly. So, in your own case, how do you juggle everything and still remain stable with your
uh
mental health intact?
Better be.
Okay.
Yeah. So how I juggle my own part,
Okay.
my home, my child, my job. That's three active areas of my life. And for me, I don't like, okay, my job. I am not one that I'm blessed. My husband has a job,
Good.
so I don't like struggle. I don't do overtime like that. I work my days and I'm good with that.
Okay.
And because sometimes we also want to live above our means, and then we start working a lot of overtime. We don't have time for our family. We don't have time for the kids. We don't have time for even ourselves. Work like 5, 6, 7 days in a 12 hours shift. That's a lot. That can take a toll on you, take a toll on your mental health,
Okay.
So like I said, thank God my husband has a job, so I don't have to do all of that,
Okay.
And I work my regular days, and that's it. Maybe like before, I used to, but not anymore. I don't do that anymore. Yeah.
Okay.
And also, as a mother and as a wife, you have a home to take care of.
Exactly.
If you're out there doing other hours, who's going to take care of your home? Who's going to take care of your husband?
Yeah, they need to take in that light too.
He needs to be taken care of.
Because you're talking from the standpoint of experience.
Yeah.
So that is why you're in a better position to advise how.
I consider myself a leader in the field based on my experience and my education.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why you need to have a balance in life. Whatever you do, everything you do, you just need to have a balance.
Okay. It's all
That's
right.
how I feel. Yeah.
Well, what advice do you have for our audience that are looking up? People that want to join your field, people that are already in the field. What one word do you have for them?
I would say for me, I surrounded myself. If you have a group of friends and they don't motivate you, then those are not your friends.
Okay.
Those are not a good group of friends. My group of friends, I would say, I looked up to a lot of them. A lot of them are in the same field as I am, and that really motivated me also. And
Okay.
also, as a young person coming up and you want to join, just surround yourself with positive people. Have a positive mind, be resilient, be say, okay, this is what I want to do, and just set that goal. Say, yes, I'm going to do it. And also just always have at the back of your mind that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So don't give up.
Okay. I have two more questions. How do you handle the pressure? Because your job is a pressure filled one. And how you cool off.
Okay,
Yes.
it is a lot of pressure.
I know.
So thank God, my husband is a very sociable person, so he drags me out most of the time.
Okay.
So it drags me out most of the time. So anytime I go out there, I see people, I laugh. Sometimes I'm an introvert person. I don't like going out. I like sitting at home and watching my YouTube and
Okay.
just reading.
Okay.
But sometimes that's not enough. Sometimes you need to go out. You need to laugh. Just go out every now and then. Go out, watch a good movie, have a good laugh.
Yeah.
I feel that was one of the things. Those are the things that really made me feel good about it. That I didn't have to be. I'm not gonna say depressed.
No, you don't. There's no need for that.
That's how I manage my own
Pressure.
pressure. Yeah.
Then how do you cool off?
How do I cool off? I would say thank God I have my entire family. They're still here. I like to go on trips sometimes. I
Okay.
like to go on vacation. I mean, like if I feel like I'm really really like I've had it up to here. Like
Okay.
once I take a good trip, by the time I come back, I'm rejuvenate and I'm like, okay, let's do this again.
Okay. Okay.
And
Nice one.
also I talk to my family members also. So yeah, they help me
To balance up.
to balance up. Yeah.
Okay. On that note, we'll be wrapping up. Thank you for your input. And like you said, for people that need assistance, they can reach out to you, because mental sanity is something we cannot toy with,
We cannot.
you know, because another thing, the stigmatization that you talked about, people will now feel if I talk to him, or I mean, I can't be able to confide into A or B, their reaction. So based on that, they tend to,
Let me
bottle
say
it up.
something. Yeah, let me
Go
say.
ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
I mean, don't feel because I feel like in America, we Africans, Nigerians, this is our field. I feel like a lot of us are doing that. And there's something that they call you can just trust. Say you want to come to me now and talk to me about your mental health, whatever.
Okay.
Don't feel like I'm going to go to the next person and disclose whatever you said. No, there's something that is called HIPAA.
Okay.
HIPAA, you cannot like disclose anything to someone else without
Okay.
you giving me the permission to say that. So I think that's what's making a lot of us feel reluctant to go see a therapist,
For the help that they
or
need.
African therapist, or no, there's something that is called HIPAA.
Okay.
You talk to me about your mental health, yourself, whatever. I have no right to go and start talking about your business to somebody else. No.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Tina.
Thank you
I
for
really
having
enjoyed
me.
hanging out with you on
It
OAKannex
was a
Hangout.
pleasure.
And as time moves on, we might have this hangout again.
Sure. And also, I just want to encourage everybody. We should support Mr. Orlando, like, share his videos, and it's not easy. He came here doing the setup alone. I thought it was just going to be just coming in and just talking. No, he had to set up for almost 2 hours. So let's go on YouTube, encourage, share, and like his videos. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.